Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, we've registered a list of classes that earn an A+ for seniors. We'll introduce you to a woman who is happy to share what brought a smile to her face. We'll travel back in time to take a tour of attractions that attracted millions to our metropolis. Plus, a simple wound can wind up being worrisome. We'll wrap up treatment tips and tips for living your golden years to the fullest.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. The Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that by the year 2014, 41% of adults aged 55 and older will still be in the workforce. In fact, in some circles, the words retirees and seniors are being replaced by terms like rebounders and prime timers. Do you want to learn more? Deborah Urksa, the Director of Life Enrichment and Cultural Arts at Breckenridge Village, is here, along with Ann D'Agostino with the Continuing Education Department at Lakeland Community College. They're here to teach us a few lessons about lifelong learning. Thank you both for joining us today.
Good morning, Armand.
Well, it sounds like the term retiree is being retired as more adults age and yet want to continue their education after they've graduated high school or college, maybe many years later. Is that right?
That's true. Actually, lifelong learning is the secret to a healthy and long life. Current research shows that the educational opportunities combined with the social interactions that are associated with them lead to an increase in quality of life.
Very good. Now, Lakeland Community College, there's a Center for Lifelong Learning right there?
That's true. That's true. In our
Tell us about it.
In our continuing education department, we have a long history, maybe 25 years of offering topics and events that were specifically earmarked for our senior population.
What kinds of classes and programs do you offer?
We have a number of classes in the arts, crafts, exercises, computer technology.
Okay.
Also a number of things with our cooking classes. And as a matter of fact, some of these courses have a remarkable number of people that stay with these classes.
And Deborah, you know, residents of Breckenridge, when they go to this program, come back, what do they tell you? What kind of feedback do you get?
Well, actually, we have Lakeland Community College and other universities and institutions come to us at our Mahan Cultural Arts Center, too. And what
great.
they tell us is that they've reassociated with friends that they had a long time ago. They want to learn more. They learn about other opportunities for learning, and some, even at the end of the class, sign up for another class. So it's an amazing resource.
I understand that it actually has inspired people to do things like more writing and writing a book and things like that.
There's a gentleman that wrote a book on Collinwood.
That's really great. Ann, what else does Lakeland Community College do to address lifelong learning?
Well, we have a number of larger special events that we offer throughout the year. As a matter of fact, in mid-October, we have something called our Senior Adult College Day coming up. And the premise behind that is come to the college for a day, go on and stay for 3 different presentations, and then have a lovely luncheon. And that is all for a $35 fee.
And that's October 14th at Lakeland Community College. We put it up on the screen for people, and they can call. I assume they make a reservation by calling?
That's right, or our online registration is nice and easy.
And I understand you have my friend Dennis Eckert coming on, and some music and various cultural activities that day?
That's right, Irish music and culture after Dennis, and then this lovely luncheon we'll have. And then we'll end the presentation with this information about the Great Lakes exhibition.
Great. Deborah, will people from Breckenridge participate in those kind of special activities?
Yes, they will. We actually call them senior scholars, and they will go and see what's available and bring the information back and get other residents involved. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
Why does Breckenridge get so involved in these kind of lifelong learning programs? Do you find a benefit to the residents long term? Is that?
Yes, we do. We find that enriching the lives of our residents, our spiritual, mental, physical, it all works together, and lifelong learning is something that continues. It doesn't end when you retire, it just begins. When you have time to learn, it opens up a whole new horizon.
It's great, and in my experience, I found people are looking for these kinds of opportunities, so thank you both for making them available. My thanks to Deborah and Ann for educating us today. If you'd like more information on Senior College Day, you can go online or call the number that's coming up next.
For more information, call Breckenridge Village at 440-942-4342 or log on to www.breckenridgeohio.org. Next, who's smiling now? But first, his name towers over others for engineering, and not only in his country of France. His iron skeleton provided the backbone for our Statue of Liberty. Can you construct the name of this enterprising engineer? We'll say bonjour to the answer when we return.
Welcome to Breckenridge Village, a continuing care retirement community conveniently located in historic Willoughby, Ohio. Whether it's a luxury apartment, a spacious ranch home, or newly built brownstones, it's all here, with the added security of knowing more care is available when you need it. Breckenridge Village offers an exciting and upbeat lifestyle, and the food is fabulous, and our staff makes you their #1 priority. Learn more about Breckenridge Village and come see our new VO Wellness and Aquatic Center.
For the gift of Lady Liberty in the Big Apple of New York City, we must say merci to Gustave Eiffel. Eiffel also designed numerous other structures, including a particularly famous one that bears his name in the City of Lights, Paris.
It's hard to keep a smile on your face when you don't feel you look your best. Dentist Steve Marsh has a case study today of a patient who didn't feel she looked her best, and the thing that kept her from smiling was her smile. So she went to Steve for help, and now she has plenty of reasons to smile. Thanks for joining us, Steve.
It's my pleasure, Armin.
All right, so set the stage for your case study here.
Well, what's interesting is she was a golden opportunity viewer, and you know, in your last segment with your guest, you talked about people working longer, learning longer.
Right.
She was actually widowed, and she and her husband had a fairly large business, and it was important that she looked good for her business, also for when she meets people, maybe she'll go dating again. So in all those aspects, she wanted to improve her smile. She's a very friendly person, but again, after a number of years, wanted to do something for herself.
What kind of shape were her teeth actually in when she came to see you?
Well, you know, many patients come to me and their teeth are all over the place, quite frankly, and we can do a lot with it. In her case, she had had braces as a kid, and over the years, she was about our age, Armand. And if you don't
that old,
and you know, when you don't wear your retainer, and we tell our young kids and our old teeth will shift back and forth. That's one of the things that happens when you get older. So her teeth were no longer in the position she would like. They certainly had darkened, and she had tried a number of whitening materials. None of them got them to the whiteness that she wanted. And Armand, we have our patients fill out a Review Your Smile, and what this does is it tells us what's important to them. And what she had said was she would like them to be whiter, she wanted them to be longer, and wanted a more radiant smile, and she used the term radiant.
So walk us through what you did.
Well, this was really a case where we thought we could accomplish a lot with porcelain veneers. When she came in, you could see that over the years she didn't show as much tooth. You can see some of the vertical lines if you look very closely on her upper teeth. They had darkened quite a bit. She also wanted something bright and natural. Her lower teeth, I had alluded to the shifting, had shifted over time, and her bite wasn't even. When bites aren't even, you start to wear away the teeth. So we actually used porcelain veneers, reshape the teeth. You see that beautiful before and after. And then later on, Armin, we came back and we did a little more feminizing of the teeth to give her a bright, beautiful smile.
So when you talk about porcelain veneers, you're talking about almost something that goes on top over the existing teeth.
Yes, and I actually brought one. You and I have alluded to these before, but this is a porcelain veneer, and if we can get a close-up. And I have to tell you, in the past they used to be fairly thick. Today we can do them 0.3 of a millimeter to 0.5 of a millimeter. We can change the shades. They're very strong. And because her teeth were in pretty good shape, we used porcelain veneers in the front. And in the posterior, the back parts of the mouth, we used some crowns where she had had some old fillings. So all of these things contributed to give her really a beautiful smile and the radiant smile that she had asked for.
Do you have another picture to show on this one?
Yeah, we have another one because I really wanted to focus on the lower teeth. In the back part of the mouth, you can see that she had a number of silver fillings, and as we've alluded to or talked about before, sometimes after a number of years they break down. We don't use silver in our practice, and most dentists today, or many dentists, don't use them. When they start to leak, you have to really restore the tooth. We use some composites in the back, some porcelains, and you can see on that lower front arm and where those teeth had shifted, it not only for her was unsightly, but she said she trapped a lot of food between it. So she'd be out to eat and she'd get some debris in there. So from a health standpoint, it made them look better. It also restored the height and gave her really the smile that she wanted. And one last thing, because she was so busy taking over this business, she also didn't have a lot of time. And she said, Steve, I'd like to get it done in about a month and a half. How many appointments? Once we did our due diligence, as you would do in law, it took 3 appointments to restore her mouth.
A lot of work in 3 appointments. Thank you very much, Steve.
My pleasure, Armin.
It's so much easier to smile when you feel good about yourself, and that includes feeling good about your smile. My thanks to Steve for joining us today.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, meet me on Lake Erie, dearie. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Tunes from the time of the Tudors will have a notable performance at Trinity Episcopal Cathedral in downtown Cleveland, Friday, October 14th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. The vocal performance group Cantores Cleveland will raise their voices as part of an evening of music, architecture, and art called Tudor England, Music in Times of Turmoil. To lend your ear for more information, call 216-991-0619 or tickle the ivories of your keyboard to www.cantorescleveland.org.
When I was growing up, the World's Fair and World's Expos were a big deal. But did you know Cleveland once had its own version of this kind of big exposition? If you're as surprised as I am, then you'll want to be exposed to John Vaca. John's the author of Meet Me on Lake Erie, Dearie, which travels back in time to when tourists came to Cleveland for a very big event. Thanks for joining us, John.
Pleased to be here.
So these expositions took place in Cleveland in 1936, 1937. Why the timing there?
Partly because it was the 100th anniversary of Cleveland's incorporation. At least that was the official reason, but the real reason, I think, was to bring some money into the city in the middle of the Great Depression.
Give us an idea how big this Lake Erie Exposition was.
It was the biggest show Cleveland ever put on. It stretched from the mall all the way down to the lakefront. They built a wide bridge across the railroad tracks. And then along the lakefront from the old municipal stadium all the way down to what's now Burke Lakefront Airport.
Wow.
The WPA dug a tunnel under East 9th Street to connect the 2 sections.
Wow. So we have a tunnel underneath, we have a bridge over it. It sounds like things that we could use today to help bring back the lakefront.
As a matter of fact, I think that's where the idea started, that we really ought to take a look at the downtown lakefront and make it more people-friendly.
How many visitors came to the expo back then?
The first year they had about 4 million. I think
4 million?
Just a few thousand under that.
It would take a few years for the Browns to bring that many people to
Yes,
Cleveland.
it would. Even the Indians haven't done that well.
That's a lot of people.
That's right. The second year, a little bit less, about 3.5 million. They had a lot of rain that summer.
What kind of exhibits did they have there? What brought so many people?
They had industrial exhibits, of course, and business exhibits, Ohio Bell, for example.
What are we looking at in this picture here?
I think the thing I'd like to bring back the most would be Streets of the World. They took 36 nationalities and packed them into a 10-acre display.
This looks a little bit like Epcot in Disney World.
Rather. Chicago had Belgian Village and German Village, but Cleveland decided to put them all together in one display.
Wow, look at all that.
covered 10 acres of exhibits. That's the midway that we see there. That went from East 9th all the way to Streets of the World.
Wow. Look at all the people, how they're crowded in there.
Yes, they are. That's
Wow.
the bridge over the railroad tracks.
And there was entertainment too?
Quite a bit of entertainment. They had everything from Shakespeare to strippers. And the second...
I won't ask what brought more people. You don't have to.
You don't have to ask. And the second year was marked the debut of Billy Rose's Aquacade. Most people associate that with the New York World's Fair of 1939, but Cleveland had it first.
And I understand there were a lot of bands. Xavier Cugat came. And
A lot of them were connected with the Aquacade.
oh, interesting.
They would put on a water show, lasted about an hour, and there's Billy Rose and his star, Eleanor Holm, and the third man there was familiar to a lot of people in the 30s. That was Johnny Weissmuller,
Tarzan
of the
All right.
movies.
Very good. Well, it's a fascinating book. You've done obviously a lot of research. Very interesting. Thank you for coming on and presenting it to us. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, Meet Me on Lake Erie, Deary. It covers a unique time in our town's history. My thanks to John Vaca for giving us this world-class tour of Cleveland's world-class expos.
To find out more, call Kent State University Press at 330-672-7913 or log on to www.kentstateuniversitypress.com. Next, words of wisdom for healing wounds.
It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to work our outer thighs to work on our balance and stability by doing a exercise band abduction. You ready to go?
I'm not sure.
All right, hips and knees at a 90-degree angle. We're going to take our exercise band, place it right below our lap, bringing the band around behind our knees, wrap it around once or twice, okay? Depending on your fitness level. Now, keeping your feet together, simply open your knees, fight the resistance as you close them. Open all the way, nice and wide. You can do better than that, buddy. Good job.
They don't go.
Excellent. Remember, slow and controlled movements always. You remember to breathe. Armand, you can do it. Ready? Go. Fight it. Good job. 12 to 15 repetitions, 2 to 3 times a week. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Are you worried about a wound, a hurt that won't heal? Dr. Thomas Mandad is here to help us with wounds that you're having trouble with. Dr. Mandad's with Lutheran Hospital's Wound Healing Center. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So why is it that a wound sometimes does not heal?
A lot of patients have multiple problems. They might have vascular problems, bad veins, they might be diabetics, they might have bad circulation in the legs, and we deal with all the various type of wounds. A lot of these are people that have chronic problems that have been to other doctors and just haven't had results. You know, we cure wounds sometimes that are several years old.
You know, I've seen situations dealing with older people, you know, bed sores that won't heal. You know, it could be a cut. Maybe somebody was having their toenails clipped, something as simple as that, and then they have diabetes or some other problem and they just won't heal. It really can become a major problem if it's not treated correctly.
No, you're right, and that's the kind of people we deal with.
So someone comes to with a wound that's not healing. What do you do for them?
Basically, first thing we do is a complete evaluation. We get a history and physical. We'll do diagnostic tests that may not have been done in the past to check the circulation, check their control of their diabetes. Then we come up with a treatment plan. A treatment plan is going to be customized to the problem the patient has. We do specialized dressings, specialized medicines, and we also have a hyperbaric oxygen chamber for treatment of chronic wounds.
Okay, now medications and dressings, those things I understand, but hyperbolic, whatever, tell us about that.
Hyperbaric oxygen.
Hyperbaric oxygen, okay.
It's a specialized chamber that has 100% oxygen at increased atmospheric pressure. I think we have one on the screen. And these are, the patient is placed in them. They're transparent. They can listen to music or television while they're in the chamber. Usually they're in the chamber for an hour or two. And what we do with those is we kind of increase the patient's circulation and increase the oxygen at the level of the wound. It increases the healing time, and we're able to cure wounds that have been present for a very long period of time.
So a person who may have had a wound that hasn't healed for weeks could go into this. It fills with oxygen, and the oxygen is what helps fix the wound and heal it?
Exactly. It does two different things. One is it increases the oxygen, so it helps circulation. You get better blood flow, better healing, but it also can kill bacteria. And so if there's an infection in there, we can clear an infection faster.
The treatment itself, being in this, tell me what it's called again,
hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
Okay, so you're in this chamber. Is there any discomfort or pain involved with the treatment itself?
There's no treatment or discomfort, and sometimes people don't like tight chambers. The advantage we have is this is totally a transparent chamber, so they can see outside the room, they can watch television, they can listen to music while they're in there, and the patients are very comfortable, and it involves no pain.
And this can actually help somebody who's had an open sore and they've had it treated in other ways, and this can actually come along and help.
Yes, it is. We deal with a lot of patients that have had problems for many years. They might have gone through many other physicians, including having various surgeries. And a lot of our referrals are even from other physicians that basically want help getting these wounds healed.
Well, this is fascinating because I had not heard that this was available. I think a lot of people haven't heard it's available. It's great to know. Thank you very much, Doctor, for coming on.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
A wound that won't heal can wind up hurting your well-being. Lutheran Hospital's Wound Healing Center is a cut above the rest. To find out more, use the information that's coming up next.
To learn more, visit Lutheran Hospital's website at www.lutheranhospital.org. Next, a life-saving prescription for Medicare.
We're Gateway Title, keeping life simple. We can make it simple. We've got everything you need. See how easy selling your home can be. We're Gateway Title. We're keeping life simple.
Did you miss a phone number or a website? Here's your second chance, because we're going to list all that information again, and then I'll be back to share 4 solutions to help preserve Medicare. Some of our elected officials in Washington are pressing to cut, change, or end Medicare as it currently exists. But there is a better way. Today we'll present 4 solutions that would protect Medicare and the millions of people who benefit from the current program. It will cut costs to taxpayers and shore up the solvency of the program for years to come. Here to reveal these solutions is my law partner, Mike Solomon. Thanks for joining us, Mike. So, Mike, you've made a list of 4 solutions to preserve Medicare. Number one is stop the giveaways to insurance companies under private Medicare plans. What's that mean?
Well, several years ago when the Medicaid Advantage programs were started, Medicare started paying an extra amount to encourage people to go into that program. How much? 10% more than the traditional Medicare. So if instead they changed the program so that Medicare only paid the same amount for the Medicare Advantage program, that could save literally billions of dollars a year in extra costs.
Okay, second on your list is negotiate drug prices.
Yes, back in 2003 when they passed the Medicare to expand it to the drug programs, they prohibited Medicare from negotiating with the pharmaceutical companies to lower the drug prices. And then recently when they passed the new drug law, they added another 47 million people to the program. Still, prices didn't drop. VA, for example, when they have their program, they can negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies. Their costs for drugs are 70% less than Medicare. If, in fact, they allowed Medicare to negotiate like that, it's estimated they'd save $200 billion over a 10-year period.
Wow. I never understood why you couldn't negotiate, but a lot of what Washington does, I don't understand. Okay, number 3, included drug benefit under traditional Medicare.
Okay, when Medicare Part D was passed, you had to deal with the insurance companies. Instead, if they allowed the traditional Medicare program to cover that, that could save, again, billions of dollars a year.
All right, number 4, this one surprised me quite a bit, and I think it surprised a lot of people. Lower the age of Medicare eligibility. Not raise it, lower the age of eligibility. How does that save money and preserve the program?
Well, as you know, Medicare, you have to be 65 to qualify. Well, older people obviously have more medical problems and the program costs more. If you expand the age by moving it earlier to someone 55 and they're in the program, hopefully their demands for the use of the health insurance will be less, and it'll add more money to the system and help its solvency last for a longer period of time.
Very interesting. Thank you, Michael. It's an important program. Medicare can be preserved in its current form without vouchers or other plans that would hurt older and disabled Americans. And taxpayers can be protected too, just by following Mike's simple tips. His 4 suggestions alone can save billions of dollars. It's really not that hard.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information. Or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us today. Next week's show is on 1 hour earlier. Yeah, we're going back and forth, 11:30, right before the noon news. Join us as we add up the impact of low interest rates and creeping inflation. We'll bend over backwards to help you gain better balance. Is mom or dad getting remarried? We'll reveal how to relate to newlyweds and a whole lot more. See you next week.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.